This is Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Shake that fire.
Wake your fuck ass up. That crust out your eyes.
In the morning, Shade 4, 8 minutes into the hour. It is now officially time for the 2015 freshman list. The coveted XXL freshman list has finally been revealed. And this is the one you want to get on, Heather B. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're an aspiring artist, up-and-coming artist, you've been making a buzz, you get on this cover, it pretty much ensures that something great can happen with your career. Kind of validates a lot of the hard work that a lot of these artists have put in. And here to discuss it, we have the editor-in-chief and music editor. We have Vanessa and Manny here from XXL. Hey!
What's up?
What's up, Vanessa? How you been?
I'm good. How are you? I haven't seen you since the plane.
I know, right?
Yeah.
We were just lounging.
I say I'm going to go to the Bay. I should see Sway. Call him. I get to the plane. Sway is on the plane.
Right there on the way to the Bay. Just go figure.
Yeah, it's like, okay.
I was the ambassador that day to escort you in and make sure you were okay.
You did.
I did all right?
Thank you for that.
All right. Absolutely. What's up, Manny? How you been?
Good, man. Good. The commute from Jersey to here is kind of real, so I'm getting used to that.
We don't want to hear that, man. We do that every day, bro. What you talking about, man? Heather's here all the time. Heather looking at you like, what?
She here
Any
early.
comments, Heather? All right, Tracy, so what we got going on right now?
Oh, my goodness. What we got going on, Tom Hanks.
No. The XXL cover. Oh.
We can talk about Tom Hanks on too, though, but yeah.
He's wild.
You confuse me. Well, no, the freshman list is definitely at the top of everyone's mind. If you go on Twitter, there's all these different debates that are going on. So this is the official list.
It is.
Fetty Wap.
Yes,
Dej
Jersey.
Loaf. Rory. OG Macko. Shy Glizzy. Gold Link. K-Camp. Vince Staples. Tink. And then the one that surprised a lot of folks, but he came in because he was the people's choice, Kid.
Kid, right?
And that's the official list.
All right. And then then the people's choices, that's just when the consumers,
Yeah,
right?
we had, I think we had over 240,000 votes from 139 countries.
Okay, wow.
Which was amazing to me.
Yeah.
And Kid got the most votes, you know. Surprised, the 10th spot always surprises us, from Jaron Benson to Dizzy Wright to Iggy Azalea. It always kind of surprises us, but we go with what people vote for. And it's always interesting. It always gets an interesting response, but Kid's been around for a minute, doesn't have an album, a solo album out yet, and got those votes, so...
Would he have been chosen if he didn't get in through via People's Choice?
I don't know. I'm not sure because, we had a lot of people up in that last spot. Mm-hmm. So we're, there's some of the names that are thrown around, some of them not and everything, But that's why the 10th spot's so cool and kind of controversial at the same time.
Yeah. Who also was in that 10th spot? Well, congratulations to Kid, but who are some of the other names that almost got that 10th spot, would you say?
I don't really remember who also got that 10th spot because result-wise, they give us the results, the numbers of who the winner is, and that's kind of what we pay attention to. Who's got the most, so I don't really remember offhand who second, third, fourth number-wise was. Up there was some of the picks that we had already. I know Little Herb was up there. Skizzy Mars was up there, yeah. Denzel Curry was up there, but I don't remember. They were in the top 10 of the 10th spot voting, but I don't remember exactly what numbers they had.
Well, Kid been putting in work, though, running around with G-Unit, so he's been doing his thing now. Okay, so Fetty Wap, that seemed like a easy one.
Right.
Yes. Fetty Wap was an easy one. He seems to make some hit songs. That was an early one for us to lock down, and and he's right on that right path. I mean, making record singles, on radio.
Yeah. Dej Loaf, to be a freshman, is bigger than most of the veterans right now. Would you say?
Yeah, but that's the culture we're in right now. I mean, you could have one song and be the biggest thing on the planet right now. So that's kind of the way it works. I think Dej is got the remixes. It's been climbing with, more and more foundation. But across hip-hop wise, you need more than that one song. And that was the struggle for us is, if you have one song, what's the chance it's going to be another one? And
but you got those features, kind of though. The features count,
and
right?
The features definitely count, too. And that wasn't, the one song thing isn't particularly in her case. It was overall the general scope is when you're looking at it. Kids get hot very, very quickly off of one song, and you have to decide how much you believe in that, and there's something behind it.
Rory is somebody who's a citizen of Sway in the Morning, and
Talented kid.
Yeah. We've had him on the show way before, even before the deal.
Yeah,
So,
get in the game.
so this makes a lot of sense. I definitely feel like y'all hit it right on the money. What kind
I think
of?
that was the first one we locked down, just because when he came in, we were really impressed with him. From he had his presentation to the things that we knew about him already. It was important to lock him down because we felt like he had a solid foundation.
Okay, all right. Any surprises? Vince Staples. Vince, that's
Staples
my man.
was important early too. I mean,
Yeah.
we knew going in a few of them that were really important, and then some of the ones we had to learn along the way. Going in, we knew Vince, Goldlink, Rory were important to us. We were surprised by Tink. We were very surprised. She came in and we spent 6 hours in the studio with her, and she killed it. And that was great. And then it wasn't going to work out for a sec because she was going to put her album out before Freshman, and then they decided to hold the album and give her a little bit more time. So luckily it worked out, and that was a good thing for us because we wanted to be part of it once we really got to get into her music.
Okay.
And you were able to get everybody in the same room for the photo shoot, right?
Yeah, we do everything at one time and one day. They're all sitting there next to each other. Really, we're not dropping anybody in or cutting pasting or anything.
Did it look like anyone or any three were like really getting extra along, where you saw some maybe collaborations in the works?
They always wind up collaborating off of Freshman, off of the day together. It's funny, I was looking at all the B-roll footage last night and saw people interacting or rappers interacting that I hadn't seen myself that day. So I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know that, that Vince and Rory had a whole segment chilling together,
K-Camp, I think, collaborated with one of the freshmen like right after. So it was like pretty cool to see like they getting together.
Yeah, they do work together. I mean, there's never ever any animosity, that type of thing. Troy was a little weird last night with the weirdo rappers, or last year or whatever. But that's just his attitude. But they're all excited.
Weirdo rappers. That's a new genre.
Whatever
Weirdo
his
rappers.
definition.
Is it important that some of these artists have a major label, major artist co-sign, you think, nowadays?
No, I don't think it was ever that important. I think that it is, we look at them as all having different tools, different kind of pieces of armor that they're going into kind of this whole game with. And a co-sign can be part of that or it could not be. For Tink, she's got a Timbaland co-sign, but also more important than the co-sign is she's got the music and the beats and the support from someone in the industry, who can guide her and has done well with, women in hip hop before and has a good foundation that way. Not that she necessarily needs it. Dej, on the other hand, doesn't have that cosign, and she's working her way, on her own. But I wouldn't say one is in a better position than the other, because they're both very distinct, different rappers, and the cosign works differently for everybody,
Shy Glizzy. Tell me about Shy Glizzy.
What do you want to know about Shy Glizzy?
What can you tell me?
He was shorter than I expected,
Well, Law 3 was a really good project.
Shorter than I expected.
All the rappers got short. I don't know what happened. It seemed like all rappers got
shorter.
They just get shorter every year.
Good observation.
Malnutrition.
It's just funny. I mean, I'm not tall, but it's a new thing you notice is the managers are all taller than the rappers.
It's the Molly.
Yeah.
Stunt their growth. Go ahead, Manny.
But yeah, Law 3 was a really good project. Funeral was a great song. The presentation of it. He just, from project to project, he's grown. And from Law 2 to Law 3 and in between, you just see the growth as an artist and be like, okay, and then 300 and all that stuff.
And DC, I mean, it's nice to have a new area. You've got a few artists bubbling from there with Goldlink, and Wale's been doing really well. So he supports the city. I got a big text, shout out from Wale saying, you got DC on there. Thank you. So, it's always nice to see a new location. And I think people start to flock to it when it starts to bubble a little. So, Shy's helping that out, along with the different artists that are coming out of there. And I think that that's been cool to see. And he's got, the foundation of 300 and we saw movement. We heard music,
Any bribes kind of come your way? Like,
we've been offered all sorts of stuff, but we've never taken anything. And you're welcome to come see my cheap ass broke down apartment right now to see that. We don't ever take anything. It's about our research. It's about the purity of what it is, and there's no getting rich off of it. And this is an opportunity for all of these artists to use it as a stepping stone and take the next step with it.
All right, well, look, if people want to check it out for themselves, they could go online, too, right?
They go at XXLmag.com. Today, the freestyles are going to launch with Fetty Wap, and we'll have 2 weeks of freestyles, and then a week of ciphers, and a week of some more interviews. So today, we launch with the Fetty Wap freestyle.
Okay, cool. Well, you guys join us for Celebrity Wire, too. We want to get your comments on some of these stories. I know you've probably written about them if you don't know about them already. Tracy G.
This is going to be a good one. We got to talk about Tom Hanks' son, because he is wanted by the police.
All right, 20 minutes into the hour, and joining us, we have the editor-in-chief and music editor for XXL Magazine, Vanessa and Manny are here. Good, because we need your commentary on this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tracy got some stories.
Oh, boy. So Tom Hanks' son. He's a rapper. His name is Chet Hanks. He's 24 years old. Last week, we learned that he likes to use the word nigga gratuitously. And when he takes time off from that, apparently he's busy trashing hotel rooms. So he was over in London, and cops are now trying to hunt him down because they want a word with him, because supposedly the story goes like this. He had a night of partying. He brought back 3 chicks. He thought they were going to be down to get in the bed with him, do some sorts of things. They said, oh, we're not that type of girls. Supposedly, Chet went really, really extra ham and got upset. He started screaming. He then broke a mirror. There was shattered glass over the floor. He ripped the television from the wall. He punched holes into the wall. And then he peaced out. And now British police are on the hunt. So the question is, with Chet, I guess because he has so much entitlement going on, he comes from 2 very famous parents.
Yeah.
And
I just hate that everybody's a rapper.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I just don't know if I would
Everybody's
classify him as a rapper, but, you know, all of a sudden, because I guess he raps a bit and has a famous family, he's thrown into our world.
He feels entitled.
That's
I mean,
frustrating.
We got to actually have audio from him. Right?
Run, nigga, nigga, nigga.
Get the hell out of
Wrong white boy. But what about if Chet came to you and was like, yo, Vanessa, how can I get on this freshman cover?
We've had all sorts of those requests. I'm sure we've had him at some point. We have all of those guys. You know, those, you know, celebrities, kids who are rapping or stuff, or, I mean, nephews or all of them, you know?
Yeah.
And we just, if you want to come by the office and play music, okay, but not,
Hey,
and
Manny,
that normally doesn't come through.
how you feel about him defending his use of the N-word?
It's sad because he's just a privileged kid, like in a costume. So it's just like, you just need, where's your friends? That's what I always tell people.
Yeah.
Like, where's the friends at, and who's allowing him to talk like that?
His friends broke up with him because of that.
Yeah. So
His friends broke up with him.
Yeah.
All right, what else you got, Tracy?
Okay, Chris Brown. You know, no stranger to Celebrity Wire for so many freaking reasons.
We had a list. We did a list of all the different meltdowns, breakdowns, so-and-so's emotional moments of Chris Brown. It doesn't stop.
It really,
it's
really
amazing.
doesn't. So this is probably at the top of your list. Karrueche, Heather B actually has a bet going on with this because she thinks that Karrueche will eventually get back with Chris Brown and be by his side.
I could see that.
But it's kind of going the opposite direction because she was at a club. It looks like she had no idea that her ex Breezy was going to be there. Supposedly, Chris went inside the club, got a table right next to hers. She immediately got up, didn't want any drama, went outside. You can see from all the cameras from TMZ down, people saw Chris Brown following her. She's not saying anything. She's on her phone trying to look busy. Then she goes into her Uber ride. And her friend is like blocking him from coming in, but he's like, nah. This is my bitch. I'm gonna go in. This is what it looks like anyway.
Okay.
But he's telling the girl.
I didn't hear that come out of his mouth, but all right.
This is my interpretation.
Oh, okay.
But you can see him very faintly saying, go to the back, go to the back. He gets into the car. Reportedly, then she drops him off to his friends, eventually gets him out of her car. She goes to her home. And allegedly, Chris Brown shows up at her doorstep at 3:30 a.m. in the morning. She says, nah, you cannot come inside. However, we can meet at a public place. They go to a diner, Norm's Diner, which is probably now famous. They get into an argument, and then they go their separate ways.
Yeah.
I don't care.
You know, yeah. Yo, thank you, Vanessa.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I don't care.
You don't care?
I don't even, I mean, I don't care.
Oh, yeah. All right.
I mean,
Join
they got to
the
be
club.
texting each other the whole time as it's going on. It can't just be like weird. There's got to be a whole other side conversation going on that gets him to that point anyway.
She
But
knew
I don't
he-
even care anyway.
Because he probably know if I'm coming to your house now.
I mean,
probably-
they know each other's phone numbers.
Yeah.
Like,
And you still meeting at a diner.
and you're still meeting at a
For what?
diner, right? What do you if you're over it, then you don't meet up. But I also don't care.
Catch you didn't hear what- catch you
There's
didn't hear you the
something
first
about
time.
it, you know. There's something about it. This one's hard for me because I don't know
you
her
don't-
without him, you know.
Yeah. So you don't care.
So I just kind of don't care.
Sweet girl, though. I met her, though. I met
Very
her
nice,
because of
yeah.
him.
But I met her. You know,
Yeah.
she actually was a stylist for Logic at the freshman shoot when he was a freshman.
Wow.
But she had security as the stylist at the shoot with Logic. So he didn't have security, but she did, which I thought was fascinating.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Destined for this moment. Heather B got a bet. She'll be back with Chris before the year is over.
$1.
I like that bet. We got a bet about Meek and Nicki in the office written up on the wall. Everybody's taking a bet on how long it's going to last. It's messed up, but it keeps you entertained over there for a minute.
How many people say nah?
It's about what month or forever or not, or how long, what month or forever, how long, that kind of thing. I mean, that's what you do to keep busy.
Okay. What else you got, Tracy?
All right, real quick. This is about another couple, but they're not tempestuous. They're together. They're in love. Zoe Saldana. So she got married back in 2013, and her husband, Marco, he actually is a Mr. Saldana. He wanted to do something very progressive for society, and he's so proud to be with her, to be his husband, to be her husband, that he decided she wasn't going to take on his last name. He was going to do the opposite.
So my grandfather did that with my grandmother.
Really?
Yeah, and he took her last name because she had 4 kids, and he was the second husband, and he didn't. It weren't his kids. She wanted, I guess, to have the same last name as her kids, so he took her last name.
That's beautiful. Like all the bills come in with her last name.
I guess so. I mean, it was 1,000 years ago, so I'm not sure. But that's the only story I know of it.
Did they have kids after that together?
No.
Okay, so
they didn't. And he was familiar with her first husband. Indirectly related somehow, I don't really remember. But he did take on her last name, and that's the only story I knew of it until this one. So
that's interesting. I wondered, like, if
they both since passed, so I don't, I can't ask them any questions.
You can't ask
it was always fascinating.
You can't interview them.
No.
Put them in a cover, double XL cover.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think, would I do that because I want to
do it.
No, I wouldn't do it because I would want my legacy to continue.
You have alpha male issues too.
I have alpha male issues, but I wouldn't mind if she wanted to
Sway
keep her
Calloway.
name. If I knew I wasn't going to have any more children, I wouldn't care necessarily.
They knew they weren't going to have any kids. She was a widow with 4 boys, and he came into the picture. And I don't really know how the conversation or anything went down, but he did take her last name. That's
okay,
real.
we have Vanessa and Manny from Double XL joining us. We're going to open the phone lines to men. Would you change your last name to become your wife's last name? 888-742-3345. Call us. KRS-One, Love's going to get you. Which album was that? The Edutainment album?
That was Edutainment album.
Yeah, pick that up. A lot of game on that. Vanessa and Manny from Double XL have joined us. Make sure you go to doublexl.com and you can see a lot of great sites.
doublexlmag.com.
I'm sorry, say it again.
doublexlmag.com.
I'm sorry, my bad. doublexlmag.com. See a lot of great ciphers and interviews that are going to be posted in the next couple of weeks from the freshmen who all appear on this Double XL cover. And Zoe Saldana is in the news.
Yes, big time actress, and she's in a very unorthodox marriage. She got married to Marco Perego back in 2013, and his name is actually Marco Saldana. And she was doing an interview in Style. She said, "I try to talk him out of it. If you use my name, you're going to be emasculated by a community of artists, by your Latin community of men, by the world." And Marco wasn't having it. He's proud to be her hubby.
Down for his lover. I'm not mad at that. You saw Heather, you think I got alpha male issues?
Yeah, you ain't taking no girl's last name. I mean, unless it's like famous, super more recognizable than yours. But
Sway
I mean,
Lathan.
Sway Lathan.
kinda
Oh,
got a little ring.
Sanaa wanted to marry me. I'll take her last name.
Would you hyphen, or you just gonna drop the
Nah, man,
Calloway?
I'm just Sway Lathan. Brandon on the line from North Carolina, man. Hey, Brandon, what up, Brandon?
Brandon.
Hey.
Hey, what up, Sway? I'm talking on the phone with Sway in the morning, bro.
Oh, that's what's up, man. You're a citizen.
Sway in the morning.
Hey, so,
Hey, everybody, man, all y'all, man, y'all amazing.
oh, thank you, man.
My morning amazing, man.
Hey, so Brandon, would you take on your wife's last name?
Man, under some circumstances, I was thinking about this while you got twin brothers, and he fucked up, and he like do some crazy shit, and your name all online. I would change my last name. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, that's what you thought
I
about.
Changing it.
Yeah, you
You know what I'm saying? You could be a Barry. Like if I was marrying Halle Berry, I want Barry. I'd be a Barry.
Yeah, you know what? He really gave this some really careful thought, man. If you had a twin brother who was committing crimes, why not? All right, okay. So you see, Heather, you'd be surprised. Tyrone is in Indianapolis. Good morning, Ty. How you doing?
Yo, what up, Sway in the morning? Heather B, what up, baby?
Hey.
What's going on?
All right, so Ty, would you take on your wife's last name?
Nah, I can't do it. Nah, I really can't do it, man. I mean, and it's not even being alpha male. I mean, you got to think about it. Look, you getting the man gets down on one knee. He's popping the question. He's getting the ring. He's in the wedding. All he's doing is showing up. That's all we got left is the last name.
Yeah, that's a good point. I just, it's her father's last name 9 times out of 10. So I just don't see the logic on taking on her father's last name.
She has a famous.
As opposed to my father's last name.
What was his guy's
Puerto
last
Rico?
No.
Well, okay, that's what. But he just didn't like his last name. All right, we'll take more of your calls. 888-742-3345. Vanessa, thank you for coming by. Always great to see you.
Definitely.
Manny?
Come out to the show June 30th, New York. July 13th in LA for the freshman shows.
Okay.
Yes.
That's going to be in LA?
LA, July 13th, New York, June 30th.
June 30th.
Best Buy Theater and Nokia.
Can we get passes? Can we get tickets?
We'll take care of you guys.
Can we do giveaways on our show?
Yeah, it should be good, yeah.
Okay, we'll work that out.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Thank you, V.
Manny, don't hog the mic next time, bro.
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
Okay.
Hogging the mic is what I do.
All right, cool, man. All right. Okay, so we got E40 stopping by in about 30 minutes, but right now,
E40's the man.
he's the man. Choices. Do you love E40?
I love E40.
And so right now we got one of Florida's, how they say, most anticipated, most sought after DJs, the one and only DJ Cool is here.
What up? What up? What up? What up?
Hey, Cool, man. You won a lot of DJ competitions, right?
I participated in Red Bull 3 style and got pretty far in that in 2012 and kind of been riding its wave ever since.
Oh, okay. So you've been milking that since 2012?
Of course.
So does it work? Does it work for you? Like just saying that were you a finalist or?
I was a finalist. Yeah, I was a U.S. finalist.
And just by being a finalist and not winning, you can still make a lot of money and get a lot of opportunity.
Oh,
right?
for sure. I think like the 3 style brand has really like become a staple in terms of like the nightlife and club scene. In terms of open format DJs, hip hop DJs, like turntablists that can actually rock parties.
That can actually rock party. I feel like you made a political statement right there. Do you feel like most can't?
I think there's a different world. Like turntablists, a lot of turntablists kind of focus on the art of the turntablism. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the scratching and the doubles but no one wants to hear that in the club.
Yeah.
And I feel like some of the guys that are in my league and in my peer circle, we walk that fine line of being able to do both, where we can do the turntablist tricks and still be able to rock a party correctly, and not have anyone kind of go, "Yo, what is this guy doing right now?"
Yeah, he's juggling and
yeah,
I'm
like no one really cares about that when you're trying to dance.
Yeah, yeah, okay. Even if you crabbing, they don't like that either, man.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I haven't done it. But.
Yeah. Okay, so this mix you're gonna do for us today, will it be like a hybrid, a combo of the two?
I'm just gonna play a lot of my favorite songs, really.
Okay, all right.
Some old stuff, some new stuff, classic stuff.
All right. Okay, so if people want to reach you, because our citizens like to chime in, if y'all like what he's doing, let him know directly. What's your social media?
At DJ Koo, that's at DJ KU.
DJ KU, get at him. Sway in the Morning, Shade 45. It's DJ Cool.
It's Sway in the Morning, only on Shade 45.